Hey everyone, it's Baxstar here. Um, so I have a lot I want to say, I think. So I think this video is going to be pretty long. First of all, I wanted to apologize to you guys for not uploading a video in a long time. I know it's been a few months, and for once, there's actually a really good reason for that. So it's kind of a long story. I'll try and make it not too long. I know you guys haven't seen me make a video in a while, and I've read all your comments, so don't worry. I've seen them all. I've seen the ones talking about me, trying out Commodore Arms Classic and stuff, and just making a video for you guys for old time's sake and stuff, which I still may do. So, um, but yeah. So here's a little backstory about me and my life, and where I've come, and how it pertains to me not uploading a video in like the last 2 months or so. Um, I had graduated university back in 2015. I did a double major in medical science and biology. I graduated with honors. I got really good grades, and then I actually went to Japan in 2015, in the summer of 2015, with a friend of mine, and it was the first time I ever traveled by myself outside of my country, outside of Canada, without family and stuff. So that was really fun. I was there for 2 weeks. We did a lot of stuff, and it was incredible. But that's not the point of the story. I could make a whole nother video on that itself. Uh, Japan is a beautiful country. The people are extremely aware of others around them, so they're very, I would say, community-centric thinking kind of thing, and not so egocentric like it is in Canada, even though Canada is a little bit better than, I'm thinking about my neighbors down south. You guys living in the States. Sorry, I don't mean to be, rude, but um, there's a cultural difference for sure, though. Anyways, I did that in late summer of 2015, and when I came back from that, I immediately got a job. So I used to work at basically like a fast food chain for 5 years while I was in university, or maybe even a little bit longer than that, to pay for my school. And then I got a job right away at a company, which I won't name, not because I care so much about you guys necessarily knowing it just for what it is, but um, just for privacy reasons. Like, not even privacy for me because I don't care, but I guess I don't want them to feel bad about what I'm about to say, and I don't want to single them out or anything like that. It's like this everywhere, I'm sure, in the corporate world and stuff like that. So I worked for a company that treats patients with liver disease, and I did that for 5 years. And to be honest, it was really, first of all, it didn't pay that well at all, especially for my level of education and what kind of skills and things that I could be utilized for them. And so I did that job for 5 years, and I lived at home with my parents the entire time. I had never moved out of my parents' place until I was a lot older, until I was about 27. So that's when I actually moved out of my parents. I never lived by myself, even when I was in university or in school. And I saved up all my money for 3 years. And I bought a house. So I bought a house in July of 2018. I'm currently in that house now. And very happy to have this house. And actually, around the same time, I met my girlfriend, too, who's a beautiful soul and a beautiful person. And I'm sure you guys will see her at some point. She's awesome. And she's so supportive, and she's amazing, and she's, yeah. Anyways, I'll leave that to the side for now. It's not part of the story. And anyways, I worked at this job for 5 years, and it just felt so samey. It felt like I wasn't using my potential at all. I was doing things that honestly any person with average intelligence could do, well, once they had enough experience. I mean, it's actually quite a difficult job to be thrown into because everything is highly specialized, very specific, but nothing I did used my education at all, and the problem solving was kind of minimal, and it was kind of like drudge work. It was grunt work. I don't mean manual labor, although sometimes it was. I did have a desk job, but it was just, anyways. So I did that for a long time. How long is this video right now? 5 minutes. Oh, and it's snowing outside. That's I kind of want the snow to go away. I'm kind of tired of it. Even though we've had a pretty mild winter, I'd say. I kind of want the snow to go away, and I want spring to come. But yeah, it was just not a great feeling. I just kind of I was complacent, I would say, and I just kind of woke up every day and did it because I felt like I had to. You know, I have a house, I have bills to pay, um, and I didn't really think. I don't know. It's just that mindset that you get in is just not great. Okay. Long story short, I didn't really like that job very much, and I'm kind of a very loyal person. I like to stick to things. I like to see things through. I like to, you know, it's just like my kind of personality. I don't like letting people down, ever. So, um, long story short, I was talking to some of my friends on Discord, my real life friends who have known since elementary school, and there's a small group of us who have been friends throughout all of our life, basically. And so I was chatting to them one day in December, December of 2020, just shortly after I started uploading videos again, and a lot of them, like four of them actually. One of them I don't really talk to too much anymore, not for any reason, just because like we just don't talk as much. But he's a good guy. Four of them have graduated from this computer programming program at a local college here in my city, and they're all doing very well. All of them. They all get paid really well, and they're doing stuff that's like super interesting. You know, sometimes coding. Anyways, long story short, I thought this was really cool. I've always been interested in programming. You know, when I was a kid, how much time? 7 minutes. Okay, not too bad. When I was a kid, actually, between the ages of like 11 and 14, I actually used to mod this game in a game engine called the Torque game engine by Garage Games way back in the day. I don't know if any of you at all, I doubt any of you will know what that is. Even if this video got like something ridiculous like, you know, 100,000 views, it would be hard pressed to see anyone who knows what the Garage Games engine is. Um, well, maybe that's not true. Maybe some of you do. But yeah, so I used to mod this game engine when I was a young kid, and I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what programming was. I had no idea what. I didn't even know what kind of programming language it was used to be written in. I didn't even think to Google and like discover that for myself. But what I did is I played around with the scripts a lot because someone had told me. He's like, oh yeah, you can do this and like open up this script, open up this class file, and then like edit stuff, and you can, you know, change variables around, and you can get stuff to do that in that way. So I spent a lot of my time during those years just playing around with that and figuring it out, and I would copy and paste code, and I would change the names of certain things. Like I'd figure stuff out. Like I figured like everything has the same name. I see the same name recurring over and over again in the file, and I'm like, oh, like maybe I can name that anything, for example. And I would change variables and get them to do what I want. And the game engine was pretty powerful in and of itself. So, and I found out that you could, you know, get 3D models online. I made my own 3D models back then. They were obviously garbage, but they worked. And I, you know, I put them in my game and I set them around, and I had, you know, weapons and stuff. It was like a first-person shooter kind of thing. So, and that was super fun. And it wasn't until just recently that I found out what programming language it was even written in. So I found out literally like a couple of months ago that it was written in C sharp. So I didn't even know that at the time. Anyways, long story short, I'm talking with my buddies in Discord, and they just said like, man, dude, like, why don't you just go to school for like programming? And I'm like, oh, man, like I already did a 5-year degree. Like I already, you know, I didn't really enjoy school. School felt more of like a task for me, something that I was responsible for, that I had to do. Um, I don't think anyone outwardly forced me to go to school or anything like that, but it almost felt that way. So I felt like I had to. I would be letting people down. I'd be letting down the people who cared about me if I didn't go to school instead of, chasing my passions and doing what I believed that I would love to do. Actually, making videos is one of those things. So back when I was a teenager, I obviously made Combat Arms videos, and I got a pretty large following, as you guys know. And I loved doing that, and I actually stopped doing that mostly because for school. So, and then I felt like I couldn't keep up with it, or I felt like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. That could be an entire other video. We're 10 minutes in. Okay. So long story short, in mid-December, I'm talking with my buddies, and I had been talking about. They've been talking about it with me for like maybe a week, and maybe the past couple months before that, they've mentioned it a few times. So, and one day I was talking to one of my friends, and he's like, "Dude, just apply. You have nothing to lose. It costs like $100. Like, do you have money saved up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually, I do have some money saved up. I'm a very frugal person. I don't spend my money at all. I don't buy new clothes and stuff like that, even though I would love to. I think the sweater that I'm wearing is like really old. It might be 10 years old if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, he's talking to me. He's like, "Dude, just apply. Like, you know, you have nothing to lose. It costs like $100, $150 or something like that." So I did. I applied, and like literally 2 days later, after applying to this programming program, I got accepted. They gave me an offer, and I looked at it, and I looked at the tuition, and I did some calculations in my head, and I'm like, just with the thought of my girlfriend there to support me, and she believes in me so wholeheartedly and anything I want to do. She's actually the one responsible for me making videos even a couple of months ago, if I'm being honest. She's the one who encouraged me. She's like, "Dude, that's freaking awesome. You used to have like a YouTube channel and all this stuff." Like, well, she knows about that, like, ever since she met me, but she was like, "Why aren't you making videos? That's so fucking cool." Sorry, excuse my French. So, anyways, yeah, she's awesome, and I just felt empowered. I felt empowered to do something that I really loved, which is, you know, maybe game development. It doesn't even have to be game development and programming games. It could be anything. It could be programming anything. I love problem solving, and you'll see why that's the case in hopefully in the next 8 minutes or so. I want to keep this video maybe under 20 minutes. So yeah, applied to this programming school, got accepted like 2 days later, and then one day later I did the calculations in my head and I thought about it, and I like literally just accepted the offer and I paid tuition, and then I told my girlfriend that night, and she's like, "What the hell?" And she's like, "Where did this come from?" Like, I didn't even talk about it with her or anything. I didn't tell any of my family. I didn't even tell my job. I didn't do anything. I just like did it. It was weird. That's not me. I'm not a very risk-taking person. Um, I'm not risky at all. I'm very, yeah. So, anyways, I applied to school. I got accepted. I quit my job. Uh, I gave my notice like a couple days later. I gave a 3-week notice just to be extra nice, and then I started school in January. So, literally one day in December, 2 weeks later, I was like, 3 weeks later, I was in school. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in school right now for computer programming, and I honestly couldn't be happier. I'm excelling like crazy. I'm doing extremely well. I think I'm at the top of my class, if I had to guess. We just got our midterm marks back, and my lowest mark is a 95, and I have 100% in a couple of courses, and the other ones are between 95 and 99. So I am excelling quite well. I know some of my classmates are struggling because programming is hard, and the funny thing is that I know that it's going to get way harder, because what we're doing now is just learning the fundamentals, but even the fundamentals can be hard to kind of like wrap your mind around, and especially if you don't practice them and stuff. But anyways, the point of this video is because I wanted to explain to you guys why I haven't made a video in like, a few months now, and it's because I've been in school, and I've been doing really well and trying, and I can tell you that I absolutely love it. So for the next 6 minutes, I'm going to show you something and explain, for the people out there who know something a little bit about programming, what I've been doing in school and stuff like that, because I think that'll be interesting for you to know. So I'm just going to open something on my desktop really quick. This is an IDE. It's like an integrated development environment, I think is what it's called. I just actually want to make sure that I don't want to like spoil anything. I think I might have some files open, so I'm actually going to, hopefully some of that screen was obfuscated by the camera. I'm just going to move the camera down here real quick. And so we've been learning Java. So I will be learning C and C++ next semester, and other programming languages too. We've done a little bit of Python. And I basically had, other than what I did when I was a young kid with, modding that game using C#, even though I didn't even know what that language was at the time, or even, I didn't even know what a variable was, like I didn't know at all. I didn't even know what they did or what their function was. So other than that, I have basically zero programming knowledge coming into this, but I took to it right away. I do feel like right now we're learning stuff a little bit, I wouldn't say slow. There's a lot to know, but it's slow for what I want to do. It's slow for what I want to incorporate, what I want to build. And so, just really quickly for all the programmers out there, I've been in school for 8 weeks now. This is the 8th week now. I'm on reading week, which is why I'm making this video. And in 7 weeks, we've learned, basically the first week was just getting the Java development kit installed and JRE and JVM installed on our computers, so we could run Java code and make Java. So that was like basically the first week, and printing something out to the console. So just getting like a simple hello world was basically the first week. Second week, I think we learned variables and just getting variables and setting them to integer values or numeric values. So we learned about, I think, just ints and maybe doubles. And and we also got input, keyboard input from the user using the scanner object in Java. So if any of you have coded Java, I'm sure you all know what the scanner object is. It's used for a lot of things, actually, not just user input from the keyboard. You can use it to read files and write files and stuff like that. And anyways. And then we learned if and else statements, we learned while loops and for loops. We haven't learned arrays yet. We haven't got to that. We haven't even learned how to make our own methods. We haven't discussed what classes are. We haven't discussed object-oriented programming at all. So we're very much still in the basics. We've only made programs that do, simple things like display some text to the user, saying like, here's my egg farm calculator. Enter how many hens you have in your farm. And then you enter like 50 hens. And then it's like, okay, well, how many eggs do they lay per week? Oh, they lay around 5.2 eggs per week. Okay, well, how big are the carton sizes? Like, cartons or eggs come in the size of like 12 eggs per carton. So then you do some simple math, grab the user's input, and spit out an output to the user being like, well, you're going to need about this X many cartons to fill your eggs next week, Simple programs like that. That's probably as hard as it's got. And obviously there's a lot more detail underneath that too, in terms of like formatting and stuff. We've learned how to use a lot of stuff. Anyways, this part's kind of boring, especially for you who aren't programmers, but I really want to show you what I've been building because I've gone on my own. And I've watched hours and hours and hours of YouTube videos on object-oriented programming, especially in Java. Learning what that syntax looks like and practicing it on my own. So what I ended up doing is making my own text-based RPG, since the only thing we've learned is how to use the scanner, how to get keyboard input. So that's what I did, and it's kind of evolved into like this monster. Not monster, but it's I'm really proud of it, I would say, right now anyway, because it's actually really cool, and I think it's fun to play now. And I've got like a lot of things working that we haven't even come close to touching upon. I do know how to not just use the console, by the way. I do know how to use I think Swing, which is like a Java library that allows you to make windows. So you can make like an actual pop-up window that's like an actual game screen that actually ticks and updates constantly, like, have a game run, basically. My game doesn't do that. It's just played exclusively in the console using keyboard input. So, but yeah, so I do know how to do that and utilize it. I just never I just never did that. Like, let me see. Is there... whatever. First of all, so we're at just 20 minutes. Okay, I'll stop at like 25 minutes or something, and I'll make another video of me actually playing through my game if you guys want me to do that. So I started coding this game February 8th. It's currently March 1st today, so close to a month, maybe like 3 weeks or something. I've been working on this, and I just looked at this actually before I started coding, before I started recording. This old RPG version that I have, and here you can see my files here. I was practicing making new classes and how to like implement them into my main method in Java and getting them to work. So I'm actually just going to open this up really quick and show you guys. This is my main method here. So this is everything that my code runs. And everything outside of here are just called methods, and you can use methods and call them inside your main like this. Intro, bracket, bracket, semicolon. It plays this intro and it actually displays this text. So welcome to Baxstar's basic RPG, pick a character class, etc. This is how big it was back then. This may have been a couple of days, maybe 3 days or something into me practicing object-oriented programming. And here you can see I have like a warrior script, and they have a character level, max health and health, and then attack, defense, magic, and speed stat, and gold, and experience, and a next level variable that controls, or that checks basically if the player's experience points reaches that number, then he levels up, basically, kind of thing. Let me just show you what this looks like. So I'm just going to hit play and open up the console window here, and we're going to go through this really quick because this isn't really what I want to show you. I just want to show you like how it started. So it says, welcome to Baxstar's basic RPG. Pick a character class. The warrior has strong physical attacks, the wizard has strong magical attacks, and the rogue has good speed. So you can hit 1, 2, or 3 to pick the warrior, wizard, or rogue, but basically my game at this point is only hard-coded to accept the warrior. So I can type 3 and select the rogue, for example, and then it'll say you have chosen the rogue. Actually, maybe I should zoom in a bit for you guys. Yeah, that's a bit better. This is the main screen. Oh yeah, sorry, you can choose the rogue, but really you're a warrior. So you've chosen the rogue. This is the main screen. I just use this to, like, you know, debug, well, not debug, but like, you know, say, oh, you're in the main screen right now. Like, it's just whatever, don't worry about it. It's like a label just for me to know what's going on. Town of Whitechurch. The townspeople are going about their day around you. You can hear the distant clang of hammer on metal from the blacksmith. So you can hit 9 to see your options. So this is giving the user input. When you hit 9, it checks to see what your user input was, and if it was a certain number, like it's 9, it prints out this stuff for you. So you can enter 1 to go into the shop, you can go into battle, you can view your character stats, or you can go to the monastery for healing. So if we try to go to the shop, it's not coded yet. It just says, oh, shop's currently closed, sorry for the inconvenience. There's literally no code in there other than that. That's all it does. So you can hit 1, the shop is closed. You can also hit 3 to check your character stats, and you can see my little character stat sheet here for the warrior. It shows your character level, experience, and stuff. And by the way, what I'm about to show you in right after this is a lot better than what you're seeing now. Believe me, a lot better. I can't believe this is what it used to look like. It was actually surprising and shocking to go and see that. So. Then you also go to the monastery, and you arrive at the monastery with gold. Would you like to be healed? It will cost 18, yes or no. So I'm just going to hit no. But here's the battle sequence. So you hit 2, and now we're into a battle sequence. So you enter into battle, and you run into a wild goblin. Enter 9 to view your options. So you enter 9. You can attack the enemy with a basic attack, use your magic, or battler stats, or run away. So if you view battler stats, it'll show your character sheet as well as the goblin's character sheet. Specifically their HP and attack, defense, and magic, which is the most important thing. It'll also show how much experience and gold you'll get for killing them. So viewer options, again, let's just attack them with a basic attack. So you attack the enemy goblin, your blow lands, dealing 9.4 damage. The goblin attacks you and does 12 damage. That's actually a lot. Bastard. This time we're going to hit him with a magical attack, so that's 2. So your magical attack lands doing 7 damage, and obviously it does a little bit less because my magic stat is only 5, whereas my attack stat is 8, right? And it's also calculated based on the enemy's defense stat and enemies. Well, I guess at this point I didn't have magic defense yet coded, so Maybe it just uses the enemy's defense. Anyways, let's kill him. So enemy defeated, you gain points, and you gain gold. That's it. That's all you can do in this game is just fight this one level 2 goblin. I don't even know if he levels up. He actually might. I don't think it does. And then you can like heal and like, cool, I've got this much GP left. My HP went from 10 to 30 here, and that's it. So this video is 25 minutes long. I'm going to end the video here right after I show you what it's kind of become and why I'm kind of proud of it and stuff. So, you know, implements player. Oh, I made player into an interface back then. Interesting. The player class is no longer an interface. I guess I was practicing interfaces at this point. It's an abstract class now. Or it might be a public class, which is not a good idea. But it very well may be that way. So let's just close out of this. This folder called RPG is also another older instance of my game, but a lot more developed at this point, a lot more. But my current build is this RPG test build, and I created this RPG test build as a way to test some things, and because I didn't want to like ruin my code. I was scared I was going to like break it. But yeah, I eventually used it as like my main project folder now. So I'll just open the source code here really quick, and you can see these are all the classes that I have now that I've made in like the last 3 weeks. So I'll open up that main Java class file, and here's my scroll bar up here. Let's just reduce this real quick, and this is kind of all the code that I have now in just my main. And actually, if I were to do this a second time, I wouldn't have done this. I would have separated a lot of this stuff and organized my code into other class files, but that's just how it is. So, yeah, it's gotten a lot bigger. You can see the player class here. I think, okay, it is a public class, and it actually extends another class called Actor, which is the super class to all players, all NPCs, and all classes, like the warrior class or the rogue class or the wizard class. And yeah, so my game is a lot better now. It's really cool, and I'm going to show you right now, but I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it through. I mean, right now in this video, I'm just going to show you guys, maybe for 2 minutes. Just before I hit play, though, I want to let you guys know that 90% of the audio is taken from other sources, so this isn't something I would release or try to make money off of. It obviously contains copyrighted material. Just in terms of audio, everything else is like made by me, in a way. I'm just thinking about like some of the ASCII art, because I have ASCII art in here, and some of that is generated, and some of it is actually drawn by me by hand. So but yeah, and some of you might even recognize the sounds in this game, and if you do, A+. I'm sure a lot of you will recognize some of the sounds. Not all of you, but a lot of you will, because very iconic game, I would say, and it's kind of what inspired me to make it in the first place. But anyways, let's hit play. Okay. it's going off my other one. I want you to do this, please. There we go. So welcome to Baxstar's not so basic RPG. So I changed it to not so at some point because this thing was like, it wasn't basic anymore, you know? As basic. Well, it's definitely not. It's basic in a lot of ways, but it's not as basic as well. So obviously I have music. You can hit enter, and now you can really choose a class. So you can be a warrior, a wizard, or a rogue. I actually drew this myself, and a lot of these banners and stuff are all drawn by me. But yeah, so let's, since we picked the rogue last time, let's actually pick the rogue for real this time.
Your madness ends here, betrayer.
I'm not sure how loud the audio is. It might be a little bit too loud. I should probably turn that down, actually. Maybe just a little bit. I don't know if that changed for you guys or not, but I think it's good that we do that. So, and now here's Whitechurch. So Whitechurch has had a little bit of a facelift, and the music's really fun and very medieval, I would say. Greetings, Rogue. Your kind is welcome here in these trying times. Griswold, the blacksmith, runs the smithy just north of here, so you guys might know where I'm pulling some of the sounds from. And our monastery lies to the east just on the ridge. I would stay clear of the local wilds if I were you. There have been many incidents in recent days. Farewell, traveler. So we'll just hit enter. Our feet are aching from a full day of walking. Now we can hit 9 to see your options once more. The shop is now the blacksmithy. The Go Battle is now called the Wilds, and there's other places, not just the Wilds in my game. There's also another place called the Caves, at least for now. Character sheet, monastery is still there, but now we also have an inventory, and we can equip weapons and armor, and we also have like a skill inventory that that holds our character's abilities and potions and stuff like that. So let's go to the blacksmith real quick. Close until we receive more ore from the market. Those unnatural creatures plaguing your town are slowing down business trade. Griswold the blacksmith. And we could also hit 3. And you can see my character stat sheet is a lot more developed and involved. It displays HP, MP. We've added magic defense. It shows what kind of currently equipped armor and weapon you're having, what kind of stats the armor and weapon provide to your base stats, and yeah, other stuff too. Here's our inventory. We can hit like 1 or 2 to compare things. So 1 is knife, for example. You can see comparison of what you're looking at versus what's currently equipped, and we can of course equip stuff. Knife equipped displays the stats, and here's our skill window. So we have basic attack and heavy swing under physical skills. We have fire, which is a magic spell under magic, and we have a minor health potion and a minor mana potion. So I'll just get out of that, and anything else I can show you here? No, let's just go quickly into battle just to show you how that's changed. So you enter the wilds just south of the outskirts of Whitechurch. The stench in the air is foul. What does that smell? Is that rotting flesh? So you enter in the battle, you run into a wild level 2 skeleton. Now you can enter 9 of your options. 1 to attack, use magic, or use items. 3 to use view your stats, or 7 to run away. And the reason why these aren't sequential is because I wanted to separate 7 from the rest of your number pad, so when you're playing the game you don't easily hit 7. And 3 is to view stats because it's also the same to view stats in town, and I figure might as well keep that consistent, right? So you can view your stats, you can view the enemy's stats, and let's just go for attack here. So we have a battle menu, let's access our physical skills, and let's go for a heavy swing, number 2. Enemy uses basic attack and hits us for 27 damage-ish. Let's hit him with fire. My attack missed. Alright, let's finish this battle really quick, because I'm going to wrap this video up. You actually might be getting me kind of low, because I missed. Nah, he's dead, he's dead. Actually, let's use an item really quick. There we go, I use a minor health potion. I quaffed it, apparently. And let's just finish him off with one of those. There we go, enemy defeated. You've gained 22 experience points, 22 gold. Found a minor health potion, which is nice. You make it out alive. The large cave nearby looks ominous. You can hear the wind howl by the entrance. And so that's it for now. I'm going to stop the video there. Hopefully that was interesting for you guys, and it piqued your interest at least a little bit. There's a lot of different skills and stuff. I kind of want to do like a little playthrough of my game, at least what I have so far, and upload that to YouTube as well, so let me know if you guys would like to see that. Again, sorry for not uploading videos in a long time. I've kind of just flipped my life upside down, to be honest with you, and I'm really happy and proud of myself for doing that in the first place anyway. And yeah, other things about this game, by the way, I do have voice acting in here as well, so the NPCs actually talk to you and stuff, and again, that audio is taken from the same game that that I was alluding to earlier. So anyways, I'm going to end the video there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If some of you are still watching 35 minutes in, thank you so much for supporting me after all this time. And I know you guys haven't seen my face, or, you know, like a face update in a really long time. It's been probably like 8 years. I have no idea when I uploaded that last video when I was at my dad's place in Saskatchewan. So anyways, love you all. Thank you so much for supporting me through all these years, and I really appreciate it. And yeah, let me know what you think about everything. I would love to read your comments. Thanks, guys. Bye.